Alright, welcome on back. Look at this. Starting to oxidize or oxidate or react to the oxygen. And you'll notice, oh wait, it's only that square. Excuse me. Well, that's interesting. But I stand by it. I like the oxidized look, the little green. We've got blues, we've got greens, we've got cool colors. We're going to make this into like, I don't know, like a sea themed. We've got, oh, that looks so much cooler with the way the light plays off of the gravel and the dirt even. Looks like a bunch of shiny coins anyway. Ah, and then when you go underwater, it looks like veins of gold. Like, this is so cool. Not that I even care about gold. Like, it's just so shiny and like cool looking. I feel like a goblin right now. What's a goon do a goblin? Anyways, I actually don't even know what any of that means. I just know someone says it. Lil Wayne says it, actually. What's a goon to a goblin? So, anyways. Oh, that's interesting. I guess my son must have played some Minecraft. I just noticed my character's different. I'm no longer the DJ skeleton. I'm the mask-wearing dude with fire wings. Or with demon wings. That's awesome. And the hero Brian, too. Notice his eyes are pure white. I gotta keep running to see that. But anyways, where we left off yesterday was we were starting to get pretty deep into some philosophical type discussions, like Heman, them, and women, which sounds silly, but understanding the underlying concept of women and men equality and everyone in between. So, like, if you want to identify with literally any other gender or an intermediary stage, what stage you're at with your procedures and whatnot. There's a lot. I have a cousin that's doing it. I have a colleague that did it, or that is doing it. I mean, I think she's, I don't know how far she's at. We weren't that close, but he's like, or she, see, it's going to take me a bit. She's the one that actually turned me on to Code Camp, freecodecamp.com. And it was amazing because even though we were doing school stuff, like it's also good to have a portfolio and do coding challenges on your own. I mean, for one thing, it's fun. It's addictive. Like those aha moments when you beat a coding challenge, like your brain actually gives off some pleasure chemicals, and it's like you can get addicted to, not really addicted to like as far as like drugs and stuff, but like you can get addicted to the feeling of getting good scores. That's what people that do a lot of time in school and classes do. They look forward to their grades and they get excited when they get a good grade or they get upset when they get a bad grade. And it's, I don't want to say it's easy to do, but if you're able to focus and dedicate the time, then yes, it is easy to do. And what I used to do in high school is if I had homework, I would take an hour. Actually, this is what I did in college too. I would take an hour, do what I need to do, and then take an hour of video games. I would just stop abruptly, whatever I was doing. Like I'd finish the sentence or whatever, but as soon as the alarm went off, I'd be like, all right, time for fun. And I would make sure, and that way I never felt cheated. I felt like, well, I got some good work done, but I also took care of myself too, and I never let myself suffer like that. Well, not never. Only the Sith deal in absolutes, which is hilarious because it in itself is an absolute. That statement. Only the Sith? Come on. But I guess it would be better to say it is a Sith-like tendency to think in absolutes. But there was also some problems with the Jedi Council too, let's be honest. Like the prequels shed some light on how corrupt they were. Like not like corrupt per se, but more like entangled in bureaucratic red tape to where they were ineffective. I mean, they were supposed to be keepers of the peace, not soldiers, and I get that. But then they also didn't let Anakin be a master. They sensed his darkness and his aggression. They could have freed his mom at any time. So there's a goof, and that's actually very realistic to government and politics. They're not going to come and save you individually. They will try to change laws and policies to help you, most of the time benefit the wealthy, but sometimes throw a bone to the poor people. And that's changing, but it's going to take a lot of work. Oh, the sun's setting. Oh, look at that sunset. The square sun. But now let's go over there and let's get the full effect of the dark. So, anyways, Heman, them, and women is just one concept. The skin color gradients, that's another. And that really comes from my understanding of web development. When you're building a website, you have to get familiar with a color picker or some other way. Let's go ahead and get some composting while we're waiting for it to get dark. But I mean, every color is reduced down to a 3-digit code, and then within each 3-digit code, you can either add highlighting or like light and dark. You can further change it. Most programs that have stuff actually have like a grading scale. Even Scratch from MIT has a color gradient picker tool that's really useful. Like so when you're making it's basically like a mini Photoshop in the program, and it's a web-based program too. You're logging in to some server over that they have, and I have 3 accounts there. Both of my kids have an account. I have an account, so we have 3 accounts there, and we have a few projects. I mean, the kids aren't as enthusiastic about it, but that's how they do jobs a lot of time. It's like if they want something, I'll have them work for it. Oh, also, I'm making a field of seaweed. Oops. Oh, okay. Just that's going to yield a lot. Okay. So, and then other concepts, like the war on drugs is what, a reason I started with that is because that is literally the main reason why we have inequality today. And so, in the 70s, the hippies and a bunch of people, just random people, normal people, found substances like LSD, all sorts of crazy stuff, mushrooms, like weed, coke, like, I mean, the hard and like more scary stuff too, sure. I mean, that stuff was more in like, you know, the more energetic, and then the opiates and all that, like that's been known kind of worldwide, especially the opiates. Like there was that big opiate pandemic in China, which I guess that was a while ago, and they had a long time coming back from that. I mean, and any human being, that's the biggest point. It's like it wasn't that they were any weaker or stronger than us. I mean, the only example really of that I can think of off the top of my head would be like the Native Americans. Well, I guess it'd be very similar. So like you have these like, you know, these British people that are very well used to what these are, and like, oh, it makes people feel good and loopy and all that, and like, you know, and there is a danger, and like I think even like Sherlock Holmes was using opiates and stuff, and like, but opiates not like straight like, anyways. I'm not saying that it's good. It's one of the hard drugs that I've actually always stayed away from, and I feel like kind of nervous about it. I feel like there's no coming back after that. And fortunately, I didn't really have much of a reaction to painkillers. Like I was prescribed painkillers for my migraines, but I mean, I didn't really notice a difference, and it didn't really help with the migraines either. It was just like, okay, well, I guess now I can't operate heavy machinery, and I still feel the migraine, like so. Um. Anyways. So. Anywho. Oh. Actually, I got to write myself a reminder. I have plans to do something. Nothing too exciting, but I don't want to forget. I mean, it is exciting. Like, it's not like... I have a rather long day tomorrow at work, and... Uh-oh, what is this? Okay, that's good. And then our meeting, and... Okay, cool. All right, sorry, just checking my work schedule. So anyways, what were we even talking about? Like social problems and social solutions. In fact, let's go ahead and let's take this boat over to the dock. Let's make a few different boats, shall we? We'll leave one there. That's cool. And there's a bunch of wood here. I was trying to fill that whole like area with the seaweed. That way it's just this gigantic like forest of... Whew, and it's getting hot too, I just realized. What temperature is it? Let's say 81? Yeah, I don't have an air conditioning. I'm living in the ghetto again. I mean, I had a nice apartment before this, but the landlord kind of sucked. Like, I mean, he was kind for the majority of when I was there, but then when money trouble started hitting, he turned into. I mean, he was still nice about it, but he was like bothering me every month, and that part didn't even bother me that much. Like he would call me and text me like, "Hey, do you have the rent yet?" And I felt that. Like I've been there. I've been down and out. So I'm like, all right, and I didn't give him attitude. I even downloaded like five different cash apps and stuff until we finally figured out my bank had one that he actually used, and so we just went with that, and I deleted all the other ones. But like, and it was just like I did something. I went out of my comfort zone to pay him rent that I've never done before, which it was actually pretty cool. Like, I mean, it was instant. Like, he wasn't waiting on a check or anything, and like, and if anything, I thought it was exciting because, like, normally it's the other way around, and it's the renter that's late on rent, and the landlord that has to either be kind or not. And I remember I was about to be late for just one of the 3 months that I was at this one place, and I told her I don't even know. And she was just like, well, I don't know. We're gonna have to reval. And she already wanted to kick me out because the neighbors, I think, they told her about me and cannabis, and like, so she already thought I was the devil. But I wasn't using it inside and getting her place all messed up. So I guess that's my fault, for using something that's legal in Colorado. And I get it, like, people don't like the smell, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Anyways, it's just weird. So. No, what bothers me about that guy is he's trying to keep the security deposit because I didn't get a chance to clean. Sorry, I noticed I had something under my fingernail and I wanted to get it out. That's it. I didn't clean as much as I could have. I still cleaned, like, and we did the carpets. I got the carpets professionally cleaned for like $300. It was only a $1,400 security deposit, and he wants to keep 1,000. Like I don't know. And he's like, take me to court or whatever. And I did. Nah, it's a whole thing, but the fact that I'm upset about is like he should have just been like, okay, 50, $100 for the cleaning, or charge me for a person to come professionally clean it. That could have been an option too. But instead, he wanted to play games. He woke up. So my mom actually was the one who the security deposit was going back to. So this isn't even my money, but it's just how he handled it. He texted my mom like at like 11 or 11:30 at night. She goes to bed early, woke her up, and she keeps her alarms or sounds on in case like, me or someone in our family has an emergency. So he woke her up, flooded her with pictures of the apartment saying, this is dirty, this is dirty, this nothing's broken, mind you. I remember the couple of things that were broken were already like that. Like there was one slat off the blinds that fell down, like fell down as he was opening it to show us a place, and we were like, whoa, that's okay, as long as you know that that's like that. I didn't do that. And then there's like no holes in the wall. He punched a hole in the wall, or someone did, and like I pointed that out to him too when I moved in. I was like, this is in the shed, like that's not me, I didn't do that. And the bathtub was completely brown, like the bottom layer, they had a brown layer of ick that wasn't clean, and I scrubbed at it for hours, didn't really even get it off. I mean, I did finally use a really heavy duty bleach, and I got like patterns of it out. So, and yeah, and it's like, I tried to clean a lot. So, and I wonder if he thinks that I did that, like if it was clean before and he just didn't remember. But that's bogus. Like, how do you walk through? In fact, I know he'd be lying. He just either didn't look in the bathtub, didn't notice it was brown. Like, yeah. So, and if he thinks that was me, and irregardless, I went a month without hot water. Not a single, like a whole month, like complete. It was like the 6th of one month to the 6th or to the 7th even, I think, of the next month. So, no hot water. I had to boil water to do dishes. Like, the dishwasher was one of the things that never really worked anyway. And I told him that. I was like, I don't want to run that. Like, I'm not going to wash my dishes in that. Like, it's nasty. And he forgot that I said that. And it's like, okay, well, so I got to find the text messages and show him when I said stuff like that. And I have them all. Like, they're all right there. They're in the cloud, too. It's all Google messages now. It's awesome. Like, they go wherever I go. Like, I don't have to worry about if I lose my phone. Like, I still have proof that he let me go without hot water for a full month and didn't offer a single bit of discount. He still expected full rent for a month without hot water. Furthermore, he had me pay for the guy to come out and inspect it, which I didn't really have extra money lying around, so he tied up my money and said, okay, we'll just, take it off of next month's rent. It's like, no, hold on. I mean, I guess that's okay, but like, it was still a couple weeks away from rent. I was like, So I'm paying for this, and we'll worry about it later. That's messed up. And then like, and I get it. He's having a hard time, but oh, he shouldn't have tried to keep all the money or even like fight me on it. Like, especially after we spent $300 to clean the carpets. Like, you know, just give my mom back her money and leave her alone at that point. But that's where I come in. I'm going to try to make up money and pay her back myself because people, they let their problems affect other people like that. I don't know. It's a sticky situation, and I get it. People renting properties, but oh, and then the water heater. That's the best part. When we finally got the new water heater, we used my car to go get it because his car wasn't big enough. So the cost of renting a truck, that should have been included in the security deposit. And just the fact that I went a month without it, just give her back her deposit. Stop complaining. Hire a cleaner. Send us the bill for that if you really want to take the cleaning out of the security deposit. But the fact that I didn't punch any holes in the wall, break any appliances, didn't destroy anything, like I took good care of everything. And he even said so. He's like, well, the stuff was okay, but like it was dirty, just dirty, over and over again. It's like okay, and we had an agreement I was going to come clean. And he ignored my text messages and just opted to just be mad. And like, why isn't this not clean anyway? Like, well, first off, I was in Vietnam for like my last month. And so I was like, I wasn't even there to move and clean and all that. So I got there, I had to rush to get everything, move to the new house. And like, it was still in the same county, but like, still, it's like, I had to go through a lot just to do that. And then the new place, I don't have time to be worrying about this. And then we come to find out that I was paying his gas bill like the first 4 months, 4 or 5 months for a couple $100. And I noticed that too. I was like, wow, there's a lot of gas bills, like, because my new place uses the same company. So I was like, okay, I guess that's all right. And then he texted me, trying to be good. He's like, hey, are you still paying the gas for this place? And I looked, I was like, oh, God, yeah. So I just assumed it was the same company. So whatever. And so then we got into an argument though, and I was like, then I said, when you're ready, you can start paying me back, and I'll pay my mom the security deposit. I don't know how your finances are, and I didn't mean it as an insult, and he took it as an insult because it's text message, and he thought I was attacking him again, and because I did get a little verbally rough with him, but I'm not gonna stand for that. You woke my mom up, you prick. So, anyways, I'm gonna trade some melons. So, but anyways, yeah, it's just I don't want to deal with it, and it's almost not even worth $1,000. Like we agreed to let him keep 400 since it was dirty, like $400 on top of. So he got 700. He's basically keeping half of the security deposit anyway to fix his place that he's living in now. I have a half a mind to light a bag of dog poop on his front porch, but I wouldn't. But that's what Adam Sandler does in a movie, and that's what younger me might have done. I never did that, but I thought it was hilarious. Just kind of show people that don't be pricks. But whatever, he's got a lot of stuff going on, and actually, I'm in communication with his soon-to-be ex-wife too, so that makes it even more interesting. I'm gonna be talking to her about all what he's doing now. I already talked to her about all the other stuff because he's going through a nasty divorce with her, and I get it. That's their business. That's not my business. But when she came to talk to me because he wasn't paying the HOA, and she was having to pay for it, and she didn't even know what was going on. Like they're still trying to settle things, and he's about to lose the condo too. Like it was in receivership for a while, and like we were paying a receivership, meaning that they were garnishing the rent check for the place to pay back fees owed for the new roof that they got. Which, and I get it too. That's messed up. Like what is that? The assessment, or yeah, I think it's called an assessment when they have to do a major improvement to the facility or building, and then they pass on the savings to you. No, I'm just kidding. They pass on the bill to you, and they make you all pay it. And it's like several $100s. I think it was like 1,000 a month now is like what it's supposed to be. And he's just straight up not paying it, not communicating with his ex, like, going through some troubles, like, and he's got a gambling thing too, which that's not good. That's why I wasn't trying to be mean. I was like, when you get your finances, I was like kind of reminding him because it's like 5 months out. I was just trying to give him an easier way to pay. Like we could still use my online thing, so he doesn't have to go find my mom, write a check, like meet with her, and then or anything like that. He could just push a button and be done like we've been doing. So it's okay for him to tell me about convenience when he needs it, but then when I say it, I'm the one being a prick. And so yeah, uh, I did look it up though. It's not that expensive to take him to court. I'm going to try a couple more. I'm trying to be nice, but I'm kind of also eager to see how the court system works. Like, instead of being on the receiving end for a change, I could be like, hey, can you fight for me? Can you make it right for me? Is that what this place is supposed to do? Oh, cool. I mean, because he flat out owes me the money for the bills. That's non-negotiable. Like I paid that in error, and it's both of our fault. Like I thought I actually feel like I talked to somebody on that one and said, "Hey, cancel service. I'm moving." And I started a service. I did because I called. I had to call because I couldn't figure it out on the website. And then I said, "Start service in this new place." Although wait, maybe that was electricity. Actually, now that I think about it, and then maybe the online site was start service at a new place, and I did. Either way, if he would have started service, it would have taken his new one, and it would have canceled mine out. Like that's the thing. Like there's two people capable of making that change happen. And dude's older than me. He owns the property. He should know better. Like, okay. So, and when I want to get into rental businesses too, but I want to get into it for Saudi students and help facilitate more Saudi students, and not just Saudi, like anybody from Muslim countries. Like, we just have a drastic underrepresentation of Muslim students coming to America. I mean, we do have a lot, like, don't get me wrong, but I think it could be a lot better, and I think that's what we need, is we need to show the world that, A, we're not all crazy over here. There's actually a lot of sane, smart people. B, they're not all crazy. There's actually a lot of sane, smart people. And C, that's actually not a surprise after you've met enough cultures from other countries, because you start to learn that they're all the same. Like we are all the same. It's just we've just had different experiences in our history that shape the way that we are today, but we're still humans underneath. Like we still all get mad about the same things, get upset about the same things, or get sad. Emotions are intercultural. Hmm. I forgot to block up my emeralds. So, oh, and some leads. Oh, and snow. Let's go check on that. So, anyways, I don't know. This is this is quite the project, and we kind of strayed, got distracted doing things. Actually, wait, don't I need this for somewhere? I mean, I am kind of still working on that. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Well, no, I kind of like not having emeralds on that building. Like, they don't have to be on every single building. So I was thinking that one, and that one already has the green with the windows. If anything, maybe I should do like purple something. It is the Joker Tower. We could make it plural too, the Joker Towers. Oh, that reminds me. I also got to add in Joker Tower 4 escaped my filter. I found all the ones I think that said PG-13, and I missed episode 4. So I'm going to add that back in. So those that are watching these currently, and there are a few of you, and I thank you for your patronage. You can throw some likes too if you like them. I'm just kidding. Like it if you like it. Try not to do the dislike if you dislike it. I'd rather have a comment being like, hey, this is what I don't like about it. And then we could discuss in the comments. That's why I want to do the streaming too, so people can come and go. I'm a little worried. I feel like the Predator might come in, be like, hey, so I heard you're talking smack, or I heard you're, or I don't even think he'd be that public about it, but he would like maybe come into the chat room, try to talk with me, try to figure out why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's like, because my parents raised me right, my community raised me right, my church raised me right. Like the thing, the question and the thing at issue is his behavior of being raised wrong. Like to think that that was acceptable. You're making decisions for somebody that you have no business making. Hmm. So, oh, a lot of wild stuff. Well, yeah, sorry. I've also got another project going on that I've been working with another colleague about. This one's a more professional one. And I'm a little nervous because there's a meeting concerning that tomorrow. It's probably going to be a really good meeting, but there's a couple of hang-ups and bureaucratic stuff that we got to figure out. And like, it'll be good. Anyways, I'll talk more about that if it comes to fruition and if I'm allowed to talk about it. Otherwise, my security projects are still going. Like, that's the next thing I need to do is I need to start documenting because like I've been paying attention to what specific types of attacks I've seen, and like I want to like document those and have those readily available for people to look at. The biggest ones are like, so with Facebook, it's people compromising someone's Facebook by getting their username and password. A lot of times they send out a thing with that emoji that looks like the scream, like with like the flushed cheeks and the big eyes and the big open mouth, like, oh no. And it says, look who died. And then it sends a scam link that sends you to a fake login page for Facebook. And you click the link and then you enter your username and password. And then it doesn't do anything. It just captures that, sends it to the hacker. And then the hacker has your username and password. Then they just log in as you. Now, multi-factor shuts that down. Like it makes it to where when you log in, they can have your username and password, but then Facebook's like, now wait a minute, let's use some multi-factor here. And then you get to choose which method. You can send it to an email, which they blank out some of the characters, so that then they could still guess or try to guess. Like, and a lot of times it's really not that hard to guess. So, yeah, it's a whole mess. And there's people that they spend their entire day studying people, scamming people. Like, I wonder how many people have studied me and stuff. It's kind of flattering, aggravating for sure, but and then there's also the lotto scam. So wait, that first, let's back up a little bit. So that's like somebody who has a hacked account, like your grandma, your aunt, your cousin, or your uncle, or whatever, someone in your family or friends group that you trust. Then boom, that's actually some person in some other random country that's trying to steal your money. And then what they'll do is they will ask you for money. Like I actually had this, my grandma added me, my fake grandma, and I was like, oh, hey grandma, what's up? And then they're like, it was some person pretending to be my grandma and said, hey, I've been in a car accident, I need some money. And I'm like, oh no, that's terrible. But then I thought really quick, I was like, there are like 50 other people in the family that she would contact first for money before me. Like I'm very low on the totem pole, like as far as like being able to help or even being responsible to help. Like, you know, up until not that long ago, like I was a starving college student. She knew that. Like her asking me for money would be like, and of course if I had it, I would give it, like, you know, but she would just never ask me for that. There's so many better options. In fact, like, in fact, I even knew that we had like a whole account that we recently closed because that got compromised. That was all specifically for that. My grandma's rent and expenses and all the things that Social Security just didn't cover because our government is kind of garbage about that. So, and I will speak out about that. It's something that we're constantly having to try to fix. Anyway, so I picked up on it. I let my grandma know what was going on, and she shut it down. And we let everybody in the family know. And then that was like our first experience with that. And then my uncle had the same thing happen. Someone logged in, and he didn't want to deal with it. And so, because like the way to fix it is once they know your username and password, you just have to go and change your username and or just change your password and then set up multi-factor authentication. And then they're locked out. They can't because they don't know what the new password is. And usually they just lurk. Like they don't change the password on you. I mean, unless they do, that could happen, I suppose. But usually it doesn't. Usually I feel like, sorry, I thought you were laden with honey. You are laden with honey. But anyways. They just go in there and they try to use your contacts address book, then try to pretend to be you until you can get to the point where you can ask for money for something. You got to build up a little trust, talk to them a little while, and then boom. And I'm not trying to teach people how to do this. If anything, I'm trying to raise awareness so people can avoid this. So yeah, let's talk about another one. How much time? Actually, we're nearing the end there. So the end of this one. We'll write all these down. I'm going to write it on my website too, and I'm going to start including my website on the descriptions of these pages or these videos. But let's finish talking about the scams I've seen, and then my alarm's going to go off any second. But so that's the main one that I've seen on Facebook. Another one is where, let's go XApp. So, and I've seen this in all social medias. Like people will pretend to be a lottery winner. Like you can look up You can just Google like American lottery winners, and it'll have a whole list of everyone who's won the lottery in this country, along with if they're alive or dead. Like, there's so much information on them available just on the internet. And then they take that name, they'll find pictures of them, and they'll even, like, they'll find a YouTube link to that person winning. And I know this because I almost fell for this one. And this was after my cybersecurity boot camp. I don't like saying that because I was like, oh yeah, I'm a cybersecurity professional. Well, I was still an amateur, and I was still learning like what to see. And if that's the case, you know, imagine people that didn't spend 6 months learning cybersecurity, trying to be like, oh well, is this an attack? I don't know. So, but anyways, the lottery winner, it was an unverified account, so that's your first hint. Like, if it's not verified, treat it with caution, because anybody can make an unverified account as anybody, and that's the point of verification, is you did something to prove that you really are who you say you are. Now, that doesn't mean that you are that person. It just, for XApp, it just means that you paid the money. Like, there's still verified accounts pretending to be other people, and so they'll change their display name, but they won't change their username. Their username will be like George or Fred or Sally or whatever, and then, but it's really trying to be like P. Diddy. No, not really. Snoop Dogg right now. That would be someone that people would impersonate. In fact, I've had that. I commented on one of Snoop Dogg's videos, and then a bot pretending to be Snoop Dogg messaged me and said, hey, you know, this is my private, you know, page, whatever. And so, anyways, back to the internet, or the lotto winners. Actually, I'll take these over there in case I want some honeycombs. Oh wait, no, I was dropping off this tool. That's right. So, but anyways, with the lotto winner, this person convinced me to give them my phone number. They sent me a text message or a few pictures with, they had a FedEx driver that took a picture of his ID card, and they sent that. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why do I care who this is? Like, if it's just a FedEx driver, chances are it's not even going to be that driver. Like, you know, that's weird. Because FedEx doesn't work like that. And I know that from my job. I've FedEx, UPS, used USPS. Like, I've shipped tech and equipment with all sorts of the different carriers. I understand how that works. Now, not everybody does. And so not everybody knows that if somebody gives you a picture of a driver and the driver's ID, then that's sketchy. So, and I kept following along, and once they started asking for money, they needed money to pay the driver to bring the cash to me. So I was like, well, that's silly. Pay the driver out of your end. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, it's the Nigerian prince all over again. Like, he's in jail. He doesn't have access to his assets, but if you send him money, he will give you all the money and then some back. Like, it's like a loan shark type deal. Of course, they just take the money and then leave, and then they try to contact another person. So thankfully, people are talking about this. Like, they're talking with their families, they're talking with their friends, they're talking on media like this and making content like this. So yeah. All right, so that's the lottery one. That's the Facebook one. Oh, and then how I ended that. This was actually before I went to India. I was pretty mad, and so I was like, "How about beans? Do you accept beans?" And I sent this very unhinged GIF, graphics interchangeable interchange format, a GIF about this cartoon boy that his eyes get replaced with beans, swirling beans. It's crazy, and so. And it's rather unnerving to look at. It's like, oh God, well, this guy's got issues. And so he even said, oh, you day crazy, like D-E-Y. So it sounded like Indian, like from India. And so then I sent him a picture of a bunch of beef and cut up steaks and bloody cows and all this, and like just messed up, not the actual cows, it was all just meat that you would see at a restaurant, but it was like extra bloody and rare. And he just like spammed like the keys and didn't talk to me. And then I reported the entire thing to Verizon spam. Yes, that was my cell phone carrier at the time. It's since changed, but yeah. So I sent that all to Verizon, and Verizon was able to investigate it. Let's see, what other scams? Email scams, work scams. This is becoming a thing, and I work in higher education, and there's actually a good support network of communication with faculty and, you know, staff and all that from all these different organizations, to where people will pretend to be your CEO, and they'll sign it from the CEO's name, which is public information for a lot of places. Like, and they'll say, this is so-and-so, I need you to, or what's your personal phone number? I need to ask you a favor. And like, so right there, warning bells should be going off, because at least at my work, we have company phones. We have a company phone number. So that you should be not doing anything on a private. And what's funny is I'm in IT, so I am part of the security team that would look at these. And so when I get them, it's just like, well, you're top of my list there, bud, or gal, or whatever, man, you human. And I've been investigating. I'll actually be working with the feds here in the near future, as some of them have been upwards of like 50 grand that they want to get. Those I have no problem reporting to the authorities. Been like, yep, nope, let's get them. That's absurd. If somebody actually paid that, like, holy cow! And it's like fake invoices and stuff. And they'll try to target your finance teams and all that. And it's pretty easy to guess the generic like group emails for such departments. So like, people will luckily just randomly guess what yours is. I mean, finance. Well, who'd have thought? Like, or like the money team. I'm just kidding. They don't call it the money team. Or maybe they do. That would be a good deterrent. Kind of like how I used to keep dead credit cards on my PlayStation account because I was too lazy to swap them out for my new ones as I got them. And so for the longest time, well, at first I couldn't figure out the password. And so then I just didn't even want to log into my own thing. So I just used gift cards to buy stuff with PlayStation. I would just go to the store like Walmart or something, go pick up a PlayStation gift card for the exact same dollar amount. There was no tax on doing this. Then I would turn around and I would use it as money in the game, and then I'd throw away the card. And that's it. So yeah, and it's just like, if anybody hacked my PlayStation account, they wouldn't get any money. Like, they could try to buy all they want. And I don't even think you can buy anything for other people now. I think you used to be able to, but I want to say they nixed that. I don't know. What other scams? Roblox scams. Like, anytime they ask for your username and password, a lot of YouTube videos say, click this link for free Robux. Like, no. And I think they even say Roblox, like not Robux, like the bucks, but Roblox, like with an L, to make it even like intentionally not the right thing. It's kind of like Better Call Saul, where the guy tries to give him fake money with his face on it. And he's like, yeah, this is real currency of the Sandia Republic or whatever. And like, that could be the Roblox. Like, you could have 1,000,000 Roblox for giving me your username and password. I'm going to steal your, $200 or $300 in actual Robux and steal your stuff and gift it to my account, which is all traceable too, by the way. Like, you report that to Roblox. I don't even know. I don't play the game, but that is one scam I've seen, and they make fun of it in YouTube videos to try to raise awareness. Fortnite has a disclaimer: don't share your password with anyone. Selling accounts is illegal, which that's kind of messed up. I don't know. Like, I feel like, yeah, okay, but you got to respect their rules. Like, if it's their rule that selling an account is illegal, then you better not do it, because then you can get banned from the game. And there's a lot of accountability for gaming nowadays. Trying to think other scams, phone scams, calling for free debt relief. That's one that I fell for. I started giving some information, and I feel bad about that. But like, they were trying to do my student loan forgiveness stuff, and they started talking to me about random stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, what place is this with? And I thought it was with my school, and they're like, oh, no, no, we're with this company. I was like, all right, bye. I just hung up. It's like, at that point I was like, no, if it's not with my school, what business do they have talking to me? Like, and they didn't call back. And another thing you can tell about phone scams is they'll call on one number, tell you another number to call back, and then I don't know, and some of those might be legit, but with student loans you got to be careful, because the tax, like, for tax purposes, it's better to keep them as student loans unless you're about ready to pay them off. Like, there are benefits to that. Another scam, I had the police department call me, and I freaked out because I was like, oh crud, what do they know? What are they, like? Are they investigating me? Like, what? So then I call them back after like freaking out about it for like a few hours. They're like, no, we didn't call you. It sounds like someone spoofed our number and called you. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's got to be it. Like, but they looked at my name. There was nothing. Like, if I had a warrant, they would have been like, actually, we need you to come on down and check yourself in. You have a warrant. Then I'd be like, okay, and I'd get my affairs in order, call my work, and be like, all right, I'll see you after the weekend. Like, you know, go check myself into jail. But that actually has happened one time. I had to talk to my boss. I had my family member talk to my boss and be like, he's gonna be in jail for a couple of days. He'll let you know when he's out. And my boss was like, oh, okay. It was just a college like pizza place, so it didn't matter, but super much. But it was funny. Anyways, the alarm went off a while ago. It's super hot. I'm going to do this one, work on the website a little bit, have some lunch, some late lunch. I was going to pull some weeds, but like, I'm like sweating just sitting here. There's a weather service advisory. Uh, Anyways, I think it's hot. Oh, a severe thunderstorm watch. Okay, well, that's the other thing. And whenever I see the lightning and thunder, I don't go out anyway because there's a lot of lightning that can strike you in northern and eastern Colorado. Not so much western, but yeah, I guess there is some. We called the football game to lightning, but we were also, just destroying a smaller town. Smaller, mind you. Buena Vista is already pretty small. This place was even smaller. I felt bad. Like, they had a lot of really cool people too. I liked their track team, and actually, I was attracted to my one friend's sister, but I blacked out and hogged the bathroom that they told me not to lock myself in there, but I did. Oh, that sucked. I upset a lot of people. Anyways, ta ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.